Good evening. This is All India Radio and I am Nishit Kumar with the news at 9. The headlines. Government to announce soon measures to deal with the novel coronavirus. Impact on industry, says Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. 550 Wuhan evacuees discharged so far from ITBP and Manesar Army quarantine camps after testing negative for COVID-19. Delhi police files chargesheet in Jamia Milia Islamia violence case. Sharjeel Imam named as instigator. Sent to judicial custody till the 3rd of March. Ministry of External Affairs issues advisory for Indians travelling to 5 provinces of Iraq. And in sports, Sunil Kumar wins gold in 87 kg Greco-Roman category in Asian Wrestling Championships in New Delhi. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman today held meeting with industry and other bodies to assess the impact of novel coronavirus outbreak and any disruptions posed by it to India's trade. Talking to reporters after the meeting in New Delhi, the minister said representatives from pharma, textiles, chemicals, auto, paints and telecom sectors shared their views with regard to impact of coronavirus. She said during the meeting, chemicals, pharma and solar equipment makers were very vocal about disruption in supply of raw materials from China. Mrs. Sitharaman said she will hold meeting with the secretaries of concerned ministries tomorrow and based on comprehensive consultation, some measures will be announced soon.
We expect to hold a meeting at the secretary level from the various departments concerned tomorrow in the afternoon. Post which, hopefully, we will also have a discussion with the PMO and speedily some response will be announced at the earliest.
The Finance Minister also said that there is no concern about price rise so far following the outbreak of coronavirus.
There wasn't worry about price rise from anybody as yet. At least what I heard today was concern about distortion in supply of materials. Today it's coming lean. Sooner there could be a congestion. Those kind of worries were expressed but not price worries.
The minister added that it is too early to talk about the impact of coronavirus outbreak on Make in India initiative. The meeting was attended by senior officials from the central government ministries and departments, including customs and representatives from various sectors. Leaders from FICCI, CII, ASSOCHAM also attended it. 550 Wuhan evacuees have been discharged so far from ITBP and Manesar Army quarantine camps after testing negative for novel coronavirus COVID-19. 302 people out of total 406 Wuhan evacuees have left from ITBP quarantine camp at Chawla Center in New Delhi. Remaining people are likely to be released by tomorrow. 7 Maldivians also left yesterday midnight from the center. 248 people who were quarantined at Manesar Army camp on the return from China were discharged today. All the released people have been advised to remain self-isolated for the next 14 days at their respective places. All 654 people who had brought back from Wuhan have tested negative for COVID-19. Meanwhile, the Indian Embassy in Japan today said that 6 Indians infected with the novel coronavirus on board the quarantined Diamond Princess cruise ship in Yokohama off the Japanese coast were responding well to the treatment. A total of 138 Indians, including 132 crew and 6 passengers, were among the 3,711 people on board the ship that arrived at the Japanese coast earlier this month. Japanese Health Ministry today said 88 more people aboard the cruise ship have tested positive for COVID-19, taking the confirmed cases on the ship to 542. The ministry said 611 people have tested positive for the virus in Japan. A Health Ministry official told around 500 passengers who tested negative will be allowed to leave from tomorrow. Earlier, the United States evacuated around 300 Americans yesterday, including more than a dozen who had tested positive. Delhi police today filed a charge sheet in the 15th December Jamia New Friends Colony violence case. CCTV clips, call detailed records and statements of over 100 witnesses are attached as evidence. The Delhi police has named Sharjeel Imam as an instigator but has not charge sheeted any students. Meanwhile, a Delhi court has sent Sharjeel Imam to judicial custody till the 3rd of March. The probe also revealed that bullet cartridges found during the violence belonged to a 3.2 mm pistol. Delhi police will release more photographs for identification of people involved in the violence. In all, 17 arrests have been made in the area so far, including 9 from New Friends Colony and 8 from the Jamia area. The police is also investigating the role of Popular Front of India in the outbreak of violence. Total of 95 people were injured in the violence in Jamia on the 15th of December, including 47 police officials. Election Commission today discussed the various issues of electoral reforms with the Law and Justice Ministry. During a meeting, more than one qualification date in a year for becoming elector, Aadhaar linkage with electoral roll, paid news, false affidavit as electoral offence and corrupt practices were discussed. Issues related to covering print media and social media intermediaries under Representation of People Act were also discussed. Legislative Department Secretary Narayana Raju assured that proposals are under consideration. On the occasion, Chief Election Commissioner Sunil thanked the department for facilitating postal ballot facilities for Divyangjans and electors of above 80 years. First meeting of the Shri Ram Janmabhoomi Tirtha Kshetra Trust is scheduled to take place in New Delhi tomorrow. The trust is mandated by the central government to complete the construction of Ram Temple at Ayodhya. In the meeting, the trust is likely to finalize the date for starting the construction of the temple. The 15-member trust has religious as well as civilian members, among others. BJP has appointed Party General Secretary Saroj Pandey as observer for selecting the leader of its legislative party in Delhi Assembly. The party has also appointed its General Secretary P. Muralidhar Rao as an observer for selecting the leader of its legislative party in the Jharkhand Assembly. The appointments were approved by the party president J.P. Nadda. Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray today clarified that his government has no issues in implementing the National Population Register NPR as it is a part of census. Addressing a press conference in Sindhudurg district, Mr. Thackeray clarified that Citizenship Amendment Act CAA, National Register of Citizens NRC and NPR are three totally different issues. He said no one should fear about the implementation of CAA as it does not take away anyone's citizenship. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, visit our News on AIR app and follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. You can also visit our website www.newsonair.com. External Affairs Ministry has said that Indian nationals may now consider travelling to Iraq except to the 5 provinces of Nineveh, Salahuddin, Diyala, Anbar and Kirkuk. In a travel advisory, the ministry said these 5 provinces remain unsafe due to the prevailing security situation in the country. Those Indian nationals wishing to travel for employment and already having work permits and appropriate visas may return to their jobs in the safe areas in Iraq. They may inform the Embassy of India in Baghdad or Consulate General of India in Erbil prior to travelling to Iraq. Those Indian nationals wishing to travel for religious purposes and having appropriate visa and return air ticket may also travel for pilgrimage to the holy places of Najaf and Karbala. However, they have been advised not to extend their religious pilgrimage to the neighbouring Syria. In Sri Lanka, the main political grouping of Tamil minorities, the Tamil National Alliance TNA, has called upon the international community to hold the Sri Lankan government accountable for promises made both locally and internationally regarding power sharing. TNA leader R.A. Sampathnan, in his meeting with a British MP, said Tamil community can achieve a reasonable solution if they have the support of international community. Now, moving on to our series, Har Kaam Desh Ke Naam. In this series, we take a look at the programs and policies of the government aimed at reaching out to the last mile of development and welfare for all. Today, we take a look at the Soil Health Card scheme launched by the government on the 19th of February 2015. The Soil Health Card Day will be observed tomorrow. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had launched the Soil Health Card scheme on the 19th February 2015 at Suratgarh, Rajasthan. The scheme aimed at issuing soil health cards to farmers every 2 years so as to provide a basis to address nutritional deficiencies in soil. It is developed to promote soil tests based on nutrient management. Soil testing reduces cultivation cost by application of right quantity of fertilizers. The scheme ensures additional income to farmers by increase in yields, and it also promotes sustainable farming. Talking to AIR News, Agriculture Secretary Sanjay Agarwal said it is a very important initiative, and in the first round from 2015 to 2017, over 10 crore soil health cards were issued to farmers.
It is a very important initiative, Honorable Prime Minister, that soil health card should be distributed to the farmers. In the first round, from 15 to 17, over 10.7 crore farmers got the soil health. In the second round also, from 17 to 19, over 11.7 crore farmers got this thing. Using a balanced fertilizer based on the soil fertility, soil health, ultimately leads to production increase. And if you see the figures of the last 5 years, every year production has been increasing continuously.
This scheme has been introduced to assist state governments to issue soil health cards to all farmers in the country. At the stock markets, key indices posted losses for the fourth straight day today, and the rupee ended sharply lower against the dollar.
The Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange lost 161 points, or 0.4% to end at 40,894. Nifty fell 53 points to 11,993. At the foreign exchange market, the rupee slid 24 paise to 71 rupees and 56 paise against the US dollar. Gold rose 239 rupees to 41,865 rupees per 10 grams in Delhi, and Brent crude oil futures slipped $1.24 to trade at $56.43 a barrel. Arjun Chaudhary for AIR News.
Private equity and venture capital investments in the country touched an all-time high of $48 billion in 2019, according to an Ernst & Young report. The report, titled PE by VC Agenda, India Trend Book 2020, said that this is the third consecutive year that the private equity and venture capital sector has outperformed. In terms of value, private equity and venture capital investments jumped 28% as compared to 2018, while the deal volume surged 35%. The report said the growth was primarily driven by a significant increase in investments in infrastructure sector, which grew over 3 times compared to 2018. Now we move on to a special series on nationwide campaign on Ek Bharat, Shresth Bharat. The central government's Ek Bharat, Shresth Bharat program aims to establish cultural exchange between people of different regions to further human bonding and common approach to nation building. States and union territories have been paired to carry out a structured engagement between them in the spheres of language, literature, cuisine, festivals, cultural events and tourism in a focused campaign. Mizoram is paired with the state of Bihar for the year 2019-2020. More from our correspondent.
Mizoram state officials said about 30 people, including students in 2 batches from Mizoram, will travel to Bihar in the last week of this month under culture exchange and students exchange categories in line of Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat ideal. Mizoram is well known for its beautiful natural landscape, climate and hospitality. Ms. Sanobar Arzu, who is a resident of Patna in Bihar, is presently living in Aizawl as a student of mass communication at IIMC Aizawl. She said,
I'm happy to be here because it's between the beautiful mountains and forests, which is eye-pleasing and mesmerizing at the same time. There's so much to learn from the state, the simplicity and the hard work of the people, and best example of women empowerment can be seen here. From vegetable vendors to running a restaurant, everything is mostly run by women. The crime ratio here is 0.
She also said the practice of no honking and patience of drivers and motorbikers are real lessons of learning for people of Bihar. Irene, AIR News, Aizawl.
Greco-Roman wrestler Sunil Kumar opened India's medal account in the Asian Wrestling Championships at New Delhi today by winning a gold. The seasoned grappler beat Azad Salideno from Kyrgyzstan in the final of the 87 kg category. Sunil Kumar had reached the final by a victory over Kazakh opponent Azmat Kustobayev to finish the semi-final bout 12-8. Last year also, Kumar had made it to the final and ended with a silver medal. Earlier in the day, Arjun Halakurki lost his semi-final bout 7-8 against Iran's Poya Muhammad Nasirpur in 55 kg category. He will now be up against Korea's Donghyok Won in the bronze medal playoff. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Government to announce soon measures to deal with the novel coronavirus impact on industry, says Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. 550 Wuhan evacuees discharged so far from ITBP and Manesar Army quarantine camps after testing negative for COVID-19. Delhi police files chargesheet in Jamia Milia Islamia violence case. Sharjeel Imam, named as instigator, sent to judicial custody till the 3rd of March. Ministry of External Affairs issued advisories for Indians travelling to 5 provinces of Iraq And in sports, Sunil Kumar wins gold in the 87 kg Greco-Roman category in the Asian Wrestling Championships in New Delhi. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website newsonair.com and News on AIR app. And that is all in the news at 9. Good night.